Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Shad.
This month we're celebrating No Shave November with Bigfoot movies.
First up is Willow Creek from 2013.
What do you want me to say?
Just keep talking. I gotta adjust these levels.
Check one. My boyfriend's a big idiot. Check one. I said that I would come on this trip to help you with your film, and it's your birthday, and we're gonna have a great time, but I'm not about to say that I believe in Bigfoot.
Hi, I'm in Willow Creek, Mecca to the Bigfoot community.
He's all over the place.
Oh, there he is.
There is a thing we call the curse of Bigfoot. Your friends will all think you're crazy, and you'll spend all of your days searching for something that you never find.
I think we're getting close.
There's a lot of people back in the woods that just don't like other people into their business.
Turn that thing off.
Okay,
Lucky for me, I know another way in.
we're here.
What is my sock doing in the tree?
Oh my God.
Look at this. Did you see this? Oh. So I may have just gotten some evidence. Did you hear that?
So Willow Creek was directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. That's what I said. And wow, that's a hard thing to wrap your head around because you would not think that he would direct a movie like this.
He's done some interesting things.
This is a found footage film. And I have to say that I am not a Bigfoot, I shouldn't say fan, but I'm not a non-believer, but I'm not a believer. Somewhere kind of in the middle. You have some thoughts on the whole Bigfoot thing.
My theory is that Bigfoot was an escaped either chimpanzee or gorilla from a circus or a zoo that got loose somewhere in the woods up around the time that the Bigfoot myth started. Somebody saw it. It was walking around on two legs. It was weird. You got to remember, most of the people back in that era couldn't read, couldn't write. They didn't have books. They didn't know what monkeys or gorillas were. They see this thing out walking around in the woods that had escaped maybe from a circus or a zoo. Maybe it was walking upright. Maybe it was wearing clothes for all we know. You know, they train them to wear clothes in some of those like weird circuses and stuff. So maybe they saw this thing wearing a shirt walking through the woods. It scared the shit out of them. They told everybody about it, and the more they talked about it, the bigger this thing got, the creepier it got, and the more the legend grew. That's my theory.
I think it's a good theory. I mean, it's the one that makes the most sense. I mean, we're not really going to believe that there's some subhuman-esque creature living deep in the woods.
Well, it's like the character in this movie says, if Bigfoot's around, why do we never find a dead one? Why do we never find a carcass laying somewhere in the woods? You see footprints. Why do we never see a dead one? Makes sense. You find dead deer, you find dead bears in places, but you've never found a dead Bigfoot anywhere. Okay,
well, with that thought, even though I said I was not a believer, but I was also not a not believer, I'm in the middle. If there was such thing as a Bigfoot, we would think that it wouldn't be the only Bigfoot. It would have a clan, a family, and because it's a little higher, we're going to assume on the I want to say evolution trained, but
it's a little smarter than a monkey.
A little smarter than a monkey, but in that, like, now go on this journey with me. Let's say they do have some type of like ritual where they do bury their loved ones. I'm not saying they're all getting dressed in black and they're throwing roses on the coffin, but maybe they have something like that, and that's why we haven't found, because they obviously Bambi is not going to bury itself, a bear is not going to bury itself, or bury their loved ones, but maybe something like Bigfoot would.
Bigfoot standing at the edge of the thing with a shovel, quietly waiting for everyone to get done, so he can toss the dead Bigfoot into the hole and shovel the earth in around him.
And they're playing November Rain.
Yeah, they're playing November Rain while it happens. Yeah. I don't know. Even then, you'd think at some point when they're out, somebody digging in the woods, a grave would have washed up. They would have found a Bigfoot skeleton.
It's an animal with claws. It's gonna be able to dig deep and fast. Throw that past 6 feet.
So it digs its own grave before it goes?
No, I'm saying it's loved ones, like the people that or the other Bigfoot. Big feets that are around them,
They dig a 20-foot hole and throw the Bigfoot down in it. I'm sorry, Larry Sasquatch, we're going to have to dig it. We can only dig you a 15-foot hole today. Hopefully no one digs down that deep out in the middle of this jungle. Or forest, rather.
So, and also, let's assume that they are living high in the mountains, maybe or in the forest. The altitude... humans don't normally pass through like an everyday thing. Look, if there's not a fucking Starbucks or a Target, no one's going up that damn mountain on every damn day, okay? Maybe if there's like a Starbucks in the middle of the forest, maybe. But if there's not, like, who's to say that there is a body, but by the time someone comes across it, the bones have already like deteriorated into the ground and, they're gone. I don't know.
What was it Mitch Hedberg said? That the Bigfoot is blurry. It's not the photographer's fault. Bigfoot is just blurry himself. That's why you can't get a good picture of him.
I can't.
Maybe it's like that. The big feet just dissolve when they die.
Maybe they do. Well...
Turn to ash, Avengers Endgame style, and just blow off into the wind.
This film follows a couple, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, who are going into the woods of Willow Creek in California. And they're shooting a documentary. The boyfriend is a believer. The girlfriend is a skeptic. And you go through the journey of them interviewing the people in the area, which you mentioned are actual people.
Yeah, most of the people there are actual people that, tell their Bigfoot story. I think the big exception to it is Peter Jason, who you'd recognize from a lot of John Carpenter films, shows up as a park ranger that tells a Bigfoot encounter story.
So you have that, and how smart and also cost effective for a documentary. Like, you are making a documentary about Bigfoot, so why don't you don't have to obviously have like sets and all these make believe things set up. Just go to a place that already exists.
Yeah, just go there and film your movie.
They already have the backdrop. They already have the photos on the walls. They already have the maps and the tours and all that.
Yeah, for documentary or for the found footage movie, it's a good idea to just go there and use all this for your backdrops.
Yeah, well, I was going for that this is deemed like a documentary because they're documenting, what their Bigfoot journey or whatever to determine whether he's real or not real. In this day and time, I feel like, why would you want to do this? And also, what did they think? So let's go down the boyfriend. He's a believer, right?
Yeah.
He's looking for 6-7 foot man-like animal that's out in the woods. What did he think was going to happen? Was he going to go up to him and be like, excuse me, Bigfoot, talking to the mic, please. How are you doing? What did you do today? What did you eat today, sir? Like, what was his frame of mind?
Like, well, nothing until now. Thank you for bringing both dinner and dessert.
Dessert. I don't know what his frame of mind was once he found the Bigfoot. What was going to happen? He didn't bring any weapons.
Yeah.
He didn't bring barely anything. Like, he just wanted to capture it on camera and then he was going to run away. Like,
I think he thought he was just going to capture like some evidence in the woods of it. They were going to find some footprints. They were going to find some, things that would prove that Bigfoot was there, or something that would prove that the footage, because they talked about the Gimli Patterson footage of the Bigfoot that everybody saw back in the 60s. It's the famous Bigfoot scene where he's walking through the woods and kind of turns and looks through the camera and then walks away, which I think they've proven was fake now, but I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, wasn't it like just someone like in a suit?
Yeah, I think it was. I'd have to look it up, but I think they might have proven that one was a fake.
Just walking around. But, I mean, obviously it's a fake. Like, come on.
My favorite story about any of that, though, was that during Return of the Jedi, they made Peter Mayhew wear an orange safety vest at all times when he wasn't filming, because they were afraid someone out in the woods would just come by and see him standing around and think he was Bigfoot and take a shot at him.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw him at one of the conventions and he told that story. He said he was always nervous while they were filming that someone was just going to walk up on him that was armed and see him, with a group of people in camouflage, because they were out there wearing those, like, camouflage rebel jackets, and just take a shot at him, which would be crazy. Can you imagine that's how you end up getting killed? Is you were dressed like Sasquatch and get shot?
That's a Darwin Award right there, for real. Yeah, the Patterson Gimlin Lick, because they refer to that many times. Like, okay, but it's like 2013. This footage is like super mad old. There's
from
been
like the 1960s.
A jillion Bigfoot, documentaries. But so they go, and the movie is it's interesting because it is done very in a documentary style. But what I didn't care for was the part of the film, which obviously there has to be kind of something. When we discussed we were going to be doing Bigfoot films, one, I had never really seen one. Wait, The Legend of Boggy Creek, is that a Bigfoot film?
Yes.
Okay, that movie's terrible, and I know, whatever, get the hate on. There were so many people love that movie. I think it's fucking boring as hell. But, okay, so I have seen that movie. So I hadn't seen any other Bigfoot movie, besides Harry and Henderson's. So, I was really wanting to see, like, horrific deaths, like, which sounds really fucked up, but I really wanted to see, like, Bigfoot just be savagely killing people, and I wanted to spot Bigfoot. Like, I wanted to see this fucking guy. Like, hello? And I should have known going into this, like, because not only because it was found footage, but I probably wasn't gonna see anything. And they did kind of pull like a Blair Witch, especially the scene in the tent, where, I'm sorry, but as a woman, and I can't speak for all the women in the world, but I'm not about the camping already, so that's already a no for me. But I'm here, let's say I agree to the camping, okay, cool. And I'm camping knowing that outside there might be this giant creature roaming the woods. That's not getting me hot. Like, I don't want to have sex. Like, I'm not about that. I don't care if he or she or they, like, propose to me at all. Like, I'm not about it. I'm not going to be about it.
To me, that was scarier than the Sasquatch stuff, was his awkward marriage proposal in the tent, where he's like, hi, I dragged you out here in the middle of nowhere where you don't want to be. You're doing a Bigfoot documentary with me, even though you don't believe. And while you're out here, you want to get married, even though I don't want to move to the same place you do. I don't want to do the same kind of life you have. But go ahead and marry me, please.
Yeah, awkward. And then he want to keep the film rolling while they do it, which I understand, okay. But no, that wasn't going to be a thing. So they wake up to some weird noises. And I'm going to tell you right now, the first weird fucking noise that I hear, I'm out, okay? I know they weren't parked anywhere by the car, which I thought was really stupid. Like, I would have not gone that deep. I would have, if I had to camp somewhere, I would have camped closer to the car. Maybe like, okay, we're going to go for a walk and walk around and then come back to said point where we're pretty close to the car in case some shit happens. And then when the morning comes again, we can go back, and go to the place where they shot the footage originally. Cool. But obviously we wouldn't have a movie. And I know I say this all the time because these things in the movies just fucking kill me. So here they are in the tent. They hear the fucking weird noises. I'm expecting there to be like the watery, nose shots coming out of the girl. And this bitch is screaming. Okay? Hello? Like, don't be screaming. Are you crazy? Like, I understand it's scary, but maybe cover your fucking mouth. I don't know. Don't alert the Bigfoot where you're at. Mind you, he's an animal, so he smelled you from a fucking mile away. Especially because all your pheromones and all your sex smells are out there, like, wavering in the fucking wind.
Well, here's the thing that got me, too. Like you said, they didn't bring a lot of stuff. Okay, they brought a little tent to sleep in, and they brought some water, I guess. Maybe something to eat. We didn't even really see them eat. So maybe they just brought some, like, jerky or something. I don't know. But it's 2013 when this was made. GPSs exist. GPSs that would work all the way out there in those woods. They're like based on satellites. If you're going to go out in the middle of the woods to look for something that, might be thinking, take a satellite phone that works wherever you're at. Take a GPS that works everywhere. Because the first thing that happens the next day is they're lost. They don't know how to get back.
And at least it shows the audience, like, the audience is not stupid. Because the audience is going to get freaking mad as hell because it's like, hello, because it is now fine. It's a movie set in the 1980s, 90s. Okay, fine. We can deal with it. But like like you said, anytime where you do have that technology, at least they had it and oh shit, it's being jammed or it's failing or we lost signal. Then it's like, oh, that sucks. Okay, that happens because it happens to everyone all the time. But to not have nothing.
Yeah. And they didn't bring a flare gun. They didn't bring an emergency flare. They didn't bring an actual gun.
This woman didn't even bring extra pair of panties. She's just out here with her dirty sex panties all over in the freaking forest where the animals are just running around.
The least prepared Bigfoot hunters of all time. Even if they thought, okay, we're not going to run into Bigfoot. The guy earlier, multiple people actually told him, there's bears in the woods. There's mountain lions. There's things you can run into that might kill you besides Bigfoot. Okay, cool. Maybe bring a gun. Bring some of that bear mace that they sell. Bring lots of things to help you out there in the woods. They didn't even bring a knife that I saw, a hatchet, nothing. How are they even going to get camp, to make a fire if they had to? Nothing. They were completely unprepared for this.
And then, now, this is the other thing. The movie just ends. Like, I hate when it ends ambiguously.
Well, let's talk about it. First of all, you said the scene in the tent where they're hearing a lot of noises and stuff. That goes on for almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, because they have nothing else to do in the movie. They already interviewed everyone in the whole damn town. Like, they're stuck in the woods now. Like, what else are we going to show?
And they're not going to show you.
You don't even see a Bigfoot. Like, where's Bigfoot?
We don't see any Bigfoot in the movie.
Where he at? Where he at?
He's invisible Bigfoot. Because he is not seen anywhere in this movie at all. Now, the creepy thing that does happen, like you said, okay, the next day they get out. They try to find, they're looking for, they're just like, well, fuck it, we got to get out of here. They have no idea where they're going. They start off walking at like dawn, and they're still lost. I don't remember them walking that far the next day, but they're completely lost. They spend hours just walking around in circles, and at no point do they ever try to like signal anyone, call anyone, do anything. They just keep walking around until it's night again, and then they're fucked. They're hearing the creepy noises. Bigfoot's coming for them. It's getting weirder and weirder. They finally find the prints in the river. They see actual Bigfoot prints. And then they see one yelling, like growling at them from a bush. They run off into there. They're hiding. And then, now this movie's 10 years old, so spoiler alerts. Just out of nowhere, they kind of run into a completely naked woman just standing in the middle of the woods.
Now, it looks like she has her eyes are sewn shut. She doesn't have eyelids, or her eyes are closed. Somehow they're like shut permanently, and like her mouth also looks like it.
Yeah, her face looks messed up, and she looks like she might be a person that was on a missing poster earlier.
She is the woman from the missing poster because she's like you did mention she's wearing the same necklace.
Yeah.
And it is her. It is her. But this is where, that, like I said, it just ends. So he gets murdered. He dies.
We don't see him. You see him get drug off and you hear like gurgling noises. You assume he dies.
Yeah, he dies. It costs too much money to show death, all that. So he's dead. But the girl, she runs away while he's getting beat the hell up. and she's screaming like, help me, help me, help me. And then like you hear like a scuffle, and then you hear the 3 whooping noises, which is the woman making her crying sounds, the woman with the weird eyes in the mouth. And then the movie ends. But in like, if you look at the synopsis or whatever, or like the details in the movie, it says like she gets kidnapped, like she gets taken by the
abducted.
big wolf. Yeah, a big wolf, by the Bigfoot. And now I'm like, wait a second. Well, this missing woman is just out here booty naked. Did Bigfoot need some friends? Does he need some Bigfoot wives? Like, because how does Bigfoot, if we're assuming that there's more than one, how do they copy? Like, how are they making other
Hills Have Eyes kind of situation?
Yes.
Where the big feet are keeping all the Sasquatches are keeping the women as sex slaves out there and using them to reproduce.
Exactly, because
that Bigfoot semen is so strong they just give birth to little baby Sasquatches, but they all happen to be dudes.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. For sure. Because there's no reason for this naked woman to be out there. You did have a theory that maybe there was like one guy that felt very disrespected. He was like, don't go up there. This is not a mockery. Like, this is not a game, whatever. He was not about it. But the second guy that ran up to the car and was like threatening them.
Yeah, as they were going up to the site, the guy told them initially, like, a guy was just in the middle of the road and was like, turn the fuck around. Don't go up here. Get out. And, like, you don't know, like, was he warning them because he knew something was bad would happen to him and he thought, like, I'll be a dick and scare him away? Or was he not into them going up there because he thought they might do something? I don't know. It was very ambiguous. You have no idea. And the movie just ends so abruptly that there's no real chance to see what else is going on, you know? I wish it had gone on a little longer. Maybe one of the things that always annoyed me about found footage movies is you never see how the footage was found.
Yeah.
Like, if this had cut to that and then cuts to another group of people saying, this footage was found by people who went looking for, you know, the couple, and they found their camera out there in the woods and found this. And so far, we, you know, do a little bit of follow-up. That's why I think one of my favorite found footage movies is that As Above, So Below. Because that one has an ending, and you see how the footage got back to the world. You see how, you know, the footage that was shot down in the catacombs under Paris, you get to actually see how this footage came to be brought back for people to watch.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I understand that. Someone did survive, and they brought this footage back. There's another movie that, it's not a great movie, but the setup to it and some of the stuff they do is pretty good. It's called Grave Encounters. It's a found footage one where they show a guy that, you know, something terrible stuff happens to everyone, and one guy survives, and you see, like, the guy that survives is clearly traumatized by everything, and he's just like, yes, this is what happened. He's completely freaked out by everything. So I like that a little better if they actually show you how the footage came to be, you know?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, because it's like, how? Like, how did it get back? How is it a found footage? Who found it? The end. Like, who found this?
I like that little documentary they did with Blair Witch. It was like a fake documentary to go along with the fake thing. Like Curse of the Blair Witch or whatever it was
that
called.
Came out before the movie.
Yeah.
And that was actually better than the movie.
Yeah, it was like them showing how they found the footage and everything, talking about it and finding their cameras and all that. Yeah, I like that. I like that little aspect of it. And nothing else, just put something like this as a bonus feature on the DVD where they show how they found it, you know?
Yeah. I could totally see that. That would be something I would watch. But, you know, it's one of those things like, it's independent. Of course, it's, you know, they didn't have a big budget. Like, keeping all this stuff in mind, but I feel like
you could have shown a shadow of something.
Yes.
You could have shown, surely they had enough money to make a Bigfoot hand that could have ripped a tent open or been seen, like, the Bigfoot hand grabs the guy from off camera. You just see the hand grab him or something like that. Or who knows, it's a Bigfoot movie. He's filming the footprints down the ground and you see the big Sasquatch foot step down right in front of him.
Boom.
All you had to make is one semi-convincing foot, and it would be like, oh, okay, I get it, the Bigfoot's here.
Yeah.
That's it. That would have been perfect.
I guess because the movie's called Willow Creek, you should already be satisfied it's a movie about Bigfoot, and there was a lot of pictures of Bigfoot in the film.
Which part of the way we decided to watch this was a couple of years ago, we went to a Bigfoot museum called Expedition Bigfoot up in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And they actually had some signed posters from Willow Creek up in the Expedition Bigfoot place.
Yes.
Signed by Bobcat Goldthwait. So he's obviously been there and been around that place. And we're like, you know what? We should watch that because I think I might have seen part of it a long time ago, but I remembered parts of it as it was going on, but I didn't remember how it ended. So, but yeah, so that's why we kind of decided to watch this one was we had seen some, posters for it and thought, okay, we'll check it out.
So if Bigfoot would shave for No Shave November, well, I guess you're not supposed to shave, but let's say December 1st comes around and he's like, I'm going to give a shave. Does Bigfoot just shave the one part above his lip and then just rocks it like that? Just bare lip?
I think so.
And it's just the rest of his hair.
If he shaves the rest of his stuff, then he's just a big dude.
Yeah, right?
He just looks like a big muscly dude that's just, all like he just went to the place and got his stuff waxed.
Maybe that's what happened with all the Bigfoots. They just decide, you know what, like maybe they stepped into a Walgreens and they were like, you know what, there's a shaver. They just stole it because that's like a thing. And then they went about their life and shaved themselves and then just became a human. Like boom, automatic man.
They're just working jobs places.
They work nights. They work in the lumber yards. There you go. Boom.
That's where all the new lumberjacks come from.
And they interview him, and he's like, you know what? I was just tired of just walking around, waiting for someone to take a picture of me.
All these people now with cell phones, you'd think they would have gotten a real clear picture of me by now. Everybody's got a damn 4K phone in their pocket at all times. But no, weirdly enough, we haven't seen any new Bigfoot footage in years.
Yeah, maybe it's like what Mitch Hedberg said. He's just a blur.
When they try to take a picture of him, it just doesn't work out.
No.
Now I've watched that Bigfoot show, that like hunting Sasquatch or hunting Bigfoot or whatever it was, and man, some of those people are so eager to believe. They're like, oh look, someone broke into the tent over here and stole some food. Oh, that's obviously a Sasquatch.
Okay.
That's a homeless guy. That is a shirtless, long-haired homeless guy. Very clearly. Walks up like a normal person, reaches in and steals the stuff from the tent. That was a homeless guy who stole your food.
It might have been Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
You never know.
He's out roaming the woods like a Sasquatch.
For sure. If I saw Rob Zombie roaming the woods, I'd be like, boom, there's Sasquatch right there. Or it's just like, in that freaking video, More Human Than Human or whatever. The guy that has a sign like, the end is near. Have you ever seen that video or whatever? That guy could have been like Rob Zombie's dad. Like literally 20 plus years later, Rob Zombie has become the man from that video.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you're going to look at this after the podcast. You're going to look at this photo and be like, okay, that's it. Well, we will be covering another film. And I don't know why I'm going to tell the world right now. I don't know why I thought that we were going to cover both movies in the same podcast, but and I was like, wait, that can't be because we said we're going to be covering these a whole month and that's just one. But I think it's because I'm just so excited for Thanksgiving to come out that I'm just like I'm like all focusing on like covering this movie that I've been waiting for like, I don't even know how long. How long has it been? 15 years? Like, it's been a fucking shit long time.
Yeah, it's been since 2007.
Well, let me just backtrack. That was never meant to be a movie, obviously. That was just a gag, trailer.
Yeah, they did in those Grindhouse movies.
But it just, people just loved it so much that, finally we're getting a film. And I'm very excited about it. And I'm not an Eli Roth fan at all. Like, I could give 3 fucks about him. But I'm really about this movie. And this movie's going to make me an Eli Roth fan.
Let's hope so.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for joining us in another podcast. Stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.